All right, pre-warning. This kitchen is a little bit it's a little bit of a mess, but I'm here to show you my little kitchenette setup for solar and battery power in anticipation of potential uses for that. And I'm going to show you me trying to cook a meal on it. So this is Dominican salami, cubed up, cut into cubes. Just like I think it's a half chicken, half pork kind. But this is a third cup, about third cup, and we shall be cooking it on here. Get a little tiny bit more. Since I'm doing this one-handed. Okay. Trying to also do portion control, and I repeat, you cannot use metal utensils or even hard plastic utensils that are too rough or might have be worn down, have serrated edges on this. So this is frozen. This is the MyMini. Bought today. Already used it. This is not the skillet. This is the pot. Heats up pretty fast, and we shall start cooking this. And in the process, I'm gonna start getting prepared for some of the other stuff to cook. This heats up really fast, so I have to come back in like what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes to make sure it doesn't burn. It's already pre-cooked, but it's frozen, and I like to sear it before I put it in the rice. All right, and then we have some beans here. We have some mixed veggies that are also frozen. The beans are canned. You do not even expect to put non-canned, non-pressure cooked, like already pre-cooked beans in the Aroma pot that I'm going to be using. I'm going to bring out in a moment. Edit the video. Do not even think about cooking that on that because it's not going to cook through. All right, so I'm going to go wash my rice. Portion out 1/3, 1/3, and come back. And 1/3 rice. And I'm back. Okay, so I've already turned this once. Let me turn on the flashlight here so you can get a better idea. Okay, I was just worried that maybe it might be over-searing. Again, it was already pre-cooked. This is Dominican salami, but this is the version that has less pork and more chicken. It's like the mixed, more affordable version. There's maybe like, there's a third cup, but it's probably like two and a half of salamis cut and diced. Just trying to sear it a little bit before I put it in the rice. But it's been about maybe 4 minutes now, but it's been 4 minutes since it was completely cold. So it was warming up a little bit, and this was frozen through. It's already pre-cooked, so it's really just searing it. I'm doing this for. And then this is my cute little Aroma thing that I'm trying to learn how to cook rice, a small amount of rice in. So initially I was going to get the nice little pink dash one, but they're out of sale. So that was disappointing. And also it doesn't have a steamer, and I wanted a steamer. So this one brings a steamer. If you want to use one, it brings one. If you want to put veggies up there, I haven't tried to do it yet. So, I'm not going to do a review on that. And also I might just botch this rice because I'm still learning the water level. I actually don't usually cook the rice cooker at all. So this is a learning experience for me too, that I'm bringing you on. And right now it's just plugging in. It doesn't have an on or off. It like warms. And the cup that it brings says 1 cup, but it's technically like I think it's like 3/4 cup. So 1 cup is 3/4 cup imperial measurements, but they call it cup for their little, their system. They call it cups, but it's technically 3/4 cup. And this is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Little sofrito cube with all the seasoning and salt in it, and then my salami. And then we got a little bit less than 1 cup of water. So before I did a cup and a half, and it was a little bit smushy. It was a little bit too smushy yesterday for the same concoction, and I didn't like that. So we are trying something different today. I mean, you can always put more water, but you can't take it out. So another thing is that this is weighted. So if it's not, the lid weighs down the thing. So that's like, if you put on the lid, it's fine. But it won't allow you to cook if it's not weighed down. Okay, so I'm done searing with the skillet. That is done. And now it's this. My rice is cooked. Did not add oil. My rice is not cooked, rinsed. Sorry, rinsed. Did not add oil or anything. It's non-stick. Or fairly non-stick, so I should be fine. I'm going to dump it a little bit so I can get these little scraps, these little bit off of it. Okay. Trying to do portion control and trying to get accustomed to cooking with electric and possibly some power. Alright, so again, with these types of things, you should always use wooden or silicone or plastic utensils. Now, we shall cover this with some water. That still seemed like more water than yesterday, so maybe I'm going to mess it up again. We shall see. Alright, well, this looks like it's still going to be a little bit more watery than I intend to be. Let me see if I can get some of this. Alright, I'm going to update real quick to get this water level right. Because one is what I did yesterday, and it was a little bit too soggy for me. I wanted it to be a little bit drier. It wasn't mushy, but it was too soggy. I want it to be nice and moist on the inside and a little bit dry on the outside. Alright, check back in a moment. Okay, so I removed a bit of the water to keep it closer to 1 before starting to cook it and turn it on. Yeah, I want it to be closer to 1. Okay, that's mostly at 1, and since I took out some of the broth and some of the tomato, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit more, just general seasoning since some of the salt did get taken off. Alright, so this is looking like, again, this is 1 cup in there, but 1 cup of everything mixed, so it's only a 1/3 cup of rice. And when I say a 1/3 cup, I mean imperial cup, not the cup from the product that it brings, because that's not imperial measurements. That's its own, like, measurement. Alright, so here we go. And I'm going to set a timer to show you. Let's set it at 30, just to keep it at 30. Let's set it at 30, so for this whole process, we shall see. And when it starts to boil, I'll show you the time, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we've been boiling for about a minute now. I put on the lid, like right after the last video. So we've reached a boil. It's been like 13 minutes. So we're boiling. And it's going to boil for a little bit, and eventually go into warm mode when it evaporates, I guess, enough water for it to sense that it should go into warming mode. So we'll come back after that and check up on it. I'm anticipating about 35 minutes for this. I set it for 30 though. Okay, so I was recording and then I realized that it wasn't recording. It's still in cook mode, and I heard that it stopped boiling like 2 minutes ago, and it stopped boiling for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. It's already been 24 minutes. So if you make rice on the stovetop, like Hispanics tend to, I'm Hispanic, you know, it'd be done by now. I'm just trying to learn how to use a rice cooker. But that's looking kind of dry. That's looking kind of dry for, you know, for now. It's not done yet. I think it takes longer than the stovetop method for that small amount of rice. But, you know, whatever. And I still save the water, so if it's still too dry, then I'll add the water. So that's 5 minutes left on 30 minutes. It's been 25 minutes. It's still won't cook. It's still on, like, the high heat for boiling, and then it steams. So, yeah, we'll see. So I just want to show, I just heard that it came up from cook, and it's in warm. So 2 minutes later, it came up from cook, and it's in warm, and it still does cook for a little bit. And so I see that adding less water, that on certain sides of it, that it did start to brown. I did this yesterday even when it was mushy. It wasn't con though, as they say, as Dominicans say, where it's like a hard mass of cooked burned rice, sticky rice at the bottom. I'll come back to, actually, you know what, let me try it right now. This is the warm mode, but let me try it right now to see if it's edible. Oh! It's done. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's done. So yeah, it's on full warm mode, because I was like, I think when it's in warm, it's done. So yeah, it's about the time that it went on the stovetop. And this is it. Let me turn on the flashlight. This is it. It's not stuck on the bottom. It can get stuck on the bottom, or it can sear on the bottom. You see how there's like little bitties that kind of did, but not really. It can, but it's usually pretty fine. This is like fairly non-stick. Obviously, you should use silicone or wooden, and you should hand wash it without a, you know, hard, tough scrubber, so that you don't scratch it. But for you RVers, for people off the grid, campers, homeless people even, although this might be a little bit big to be carrying around while you're homeless. The dash one is probably a little bit smaller and better for that. There are probably smaller ones that you can use that use like 100. I think this one used 300 or 350. Ooh, that was hot. I wanted the dash one because the dash one was 200. So for half that time, it's like 100 watts. But this was still pretty good. Yeah, it took like 25 minutes, 26 minutes for a third cup of rice with a third cup of meat, salami, beans, another third cup, and another third cup of vegetables, and then a little teeny tiny cube of seasoning to season the entire rice and all that. That's how long it took. So there you go. What's that about? If it's, let me actually go double check the wattage. But, you know, obviously if you have the battery, that's actually what'll tell you how much it is. So the product will claim something, but people who have the batteries, you know, they'll be able to see how much it's actually pulling. Okay, for some reason the box didn't say what wattage it was, but online claims that it is 250 watts. And so I don't have a battery bank to test exactly how much it was, or how much it is, and obviously when it pulls more power to heat up, it's going to pull out more. When it stays warming, it's going to do less. But generally speaking, it claims it does 250 watts an hour. And so it took 25 minutes, so that's probably around 75 watts for this, plus the 5 minutes that I used to sear the salami on the MyMini skillet. Altogether, that's probably somewhere between, so let me show you. There's a little teeny tiny bit of what Dominicans call con, but it's very soft. It's not hard, like there's a plastic spoon, and I'm breaking it quite easily. So there's a little teeny tiny bit from that. And I don't mind that stuff, but some other people might. And it came off clean. Like, it came off easily, so it's not like you have to scrub or anything, but there is. Like, it's there. It wasn't like this when I had more water, so I guess more water that you use, the less likely this will happen. So it gets pretty hot. But I think that stuff is tasty, so I don't mind it. But yeah, just letting you know, in case you care about the aesthetics of that. What else? Okay, so yeah, the MyMini skillet for the noodle. First of all, I think it's gonna fit ramen noodles unless you like crush up completely. Sorry, I like the little thing though, but it doesn't fit. It, you know, it's marketed for ramen noodles, and it's kind of pushing it in that sense. But it does, you know, whatever if you crush it up, it will. Which I don't like doing that, so that's why I'm kind of annoyed by it. But yeah, with that for 5 minutes, that one's 260. That one's just 10 watts more than this. That's probably somewhere between 70 to 100 watts for 30 minutes of cooking. So I'm not sure about the surges, right? Is how much it pulls when it's like the maximum heat. Somebody else will have to do that testing. But it's probably less than 100 watts to make a meal like this.